Harris, good to see you, my man. How are things?
Good, brother. How are things with you, man?
Doing well. No complaints. All right, let's get it out of the way. How's the baby? Tell me the baby stories. I
Uh,
saw on Instagram that you guys had the trick or treating thing all hooked up. How'd that go for you?
it was awesome. Got his first little Halloween in the book, so that was good. He dressed up as a little lion. It was really cute. So,
Oh, that's great, man. Like, is that one of those markers? Like, did you guys agree? Like, did you dress him up? Like, did you and Mrs. LaChance agree on what the costume would be?
no, I just came home one day and he was in lion costume, and it was cute. And we were like, all right, cool, let's go with it.
Yeah. So what you're saying is your wife gets the first, last, and only say on fashion or those things is what I'm guessing.
Absolutely, and I'm cool with it, man. I like it, so I'll just go with it.
You know what I think is cool about you, and obviously I don't know you well at all, but it seems like you and your wife have a really good support system. Like, how important has she been in your football career?
That's a great question. She's always been honestly so supportive and so loving, and just always there when I need her. She's really the best. Got to give her a shout out.
Yeah, I think you do, and I think when you look at how difficult it is, because I think the challenges, especially when you guys have had the challenging season you've had, you kind of need that support system, right? Like like she's your rock. Like Mrs. Monty is absolutely my rock. Like when I need a go-to, when I need somebody to tell me the truth or tell me right or set me straight or just be positive, like it is. I would imagine she's that easy button for you in those situations.
Oh, dude, exactly. And that's what a good wife is, right? And she's the best for me. I mean, she's my rock, man. And you're right. She tells me straight up when I need to hear it, and also, gives me confidence and everything. So it's awesome.
Yep, talking BYU football with Harris LaChance. Thanks to our friends at Papa Murphy's Pizza. Use the promo code Monty25 to get 25% off your purchase of $25 or more. So let's talk about morale. Obviously, you guys are going through a very difficult time. How are you guys staying together? How's morale in the BYU family these days?
It's good. We had a good practice yesterday. A lot of energy, a lot of high energy, and and for the most part, we've been having good practices throughout the week, high energy, and you know, uh, last week was a tough loss. It was close though, and I think that if things went just even a little bit different, we would have come out with a dub. So, we're optimistic and ready to give it our all this week. So,
Well, Boise's always a good matchup for you guys. But how do you as a guy that you've worked really hard to get to where you're at, and you're not used to seasons like this? So how do you, whether it's pull up your bootstraps or keep your chin up, like what are you doing to stay positive? Like what are those? Do you have tactics? Like how do you stay positive in the face of a pretty good bit of adversity?
oh man, we got to take it day by day. That's what I'm doing, man. And win or loss, you got to just say shiz, man. Well, it is what it is, and we keep fighting through it, bro. Keep showing up to early morning lifts, showing up and giving your all, and eventually, it's that hard work's gonna pay off, and it's gonna show, man. So just keep doing your thing, keep working hard. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And be honest with yourself too. If you need to improve things, you need to do that. But then, build on it and keep going.
Is it tough to do? I mean, because you guys watch a lot of film, and I mean, when you're not performing your best as an entire football team, is it hard when you watch that film and you see, hey, I could have done this better, I could have done that better? Is it difficult to hold yourself to a high level of accountability?
Um, maybe at first, but right now, because of pride at first, right? But now it's like we're all humbled enough, and you say, I need to do that better, and you're right, and I need to do this better, and everything's under a microscope, and you're right, and we've got a lot to fix, and we're going to work on it, and we're going to get it better.
Well, the other interesting thing is you talk about the weight room a lot. We talk about losing games, and the weight room is an interesting ecosystem in a football team because I think there's a lot of bonding that happens in that room. Last weekend we missed you last week we missed you because you guys were doing a team lift. And I wonder, like, what was that team lift like, and how important are moments like that in your weight room?
I mean, we're here every day, every morning at 7 a.m. And it is important, man. And no matter how tired we are, we pride ourselves in lifting every day. That's a thing that we do here at BYU. And so with that, it's really important, man. And you got to keep pushing yourself. You know what I mean? It's important to stay strong throughout the season, and to keep working your body, and that's what we're doing. So,
do you feel like you guys are moving in the right direction? And let's really get into football, because I think that's, one of the things I hear all the time is that, accountability, and this guy's got to do his job. And talk about the offensive line, because that's your position group. Do you feel like you guys, on a man-to-man basis and as a group, do you feel like you guys are doing your jobs well?
For the most part, yeah. Last week we graded out. All of us graded out pretty good. There have been games where we haven't performed good at all, and we could have done a lot. We could have done a lot better, man. You know what I mean? Sometimes it happens, but no, I think for the most part, I mean, we're blocking well enough up front. There's always improvements, and always things we can get better at and keep improving on. Pad level, footwork, hand placement. Yeah. Those are things that are constantly need to be worked on and constantly need to be improved. But yeah, I mean, that's a good question.
Specifically, how have you guys looked and run? Because I think I watching most of your reps, I feel like you guys do a pretty good job in pass pro. I feel like, obviously, you're never going to be perfect, but my question is, there's so much more there. I feel like there's so much more work to be done in the run game. Have you guys graded out well against the run?
That's more what I was talking about, is some games better than others. I think when we focus on pad level, the run game gets going a lot. And like, we focused on that all last week, and it showed up in the ECU game. And that's what we've been focused on this week, and also just running off the ball and things like that. And it's tough too with a lot of different running backs. You can talk about that. I mean, I'm not going to sugarcoat anything here. It's all we all work together, right? And so everybody has to do their 1/11th. But for the most part, I mean, that is what it is.
Well, and I don't even think that's an excuse. I mean, obviously injuries have been a significant issue on offense. But I mean, when you have different running backs back there, I do think, and I know I've asked you this, I feel like too many times, but I do think it's hard to form chemistry between the offensive line and those running backs when you've had guys that are missing reps, whether that's Brooks or, Davis or whoever you want to point to. It's got to be difficult for you guys to have that consistent chemistry, because I think every guy hits the hole a little different.
Yeah, and it can be tough. But, we pride ourselves. The O-line prides ourselves, and no matter who's back there, we don't care. We just block our asses off, our butts off, and we keep playing. You know what I mean? So yeah,
absolutely. Hey, before we let you go, let's talk about Boise a little bit. You guys get to go up there and relish in the blue turf that is Albertson Stadium. What is the particular challenge? Obviously, you have a lot of experience against Boise. What is the particular challenge of going up there in that environment? Is it a difficult place to play? How would you describe it?
Yeah, I mean, last time we played there, I think was COVID, so there weren't any fans. But obviously, yeah, crowd noise is going to be they're a loud stadium there, and they love BYU. They love us, and when we go up there, it's a good time. So I'm actually pumped for that, man. I love the adversity and love being against the ropes, and so that should be fun.
Harris, they don't like you.
I know.
They don't like BYU.
That's supposed to be sarcasm.
That's awesome. What do you expect from them defensively? What have you seen? What do they look like defensively?
Yeah, I mean, they play straight up, and they're a veteran defense. I mean, we played against most of these guys for the past 3 years, so it should be fun. I mean, a lot of guys we know pretty well now, so it should be fun. They're strong, they're good, they play their gaps, and they play their solid defense, and they do it well. So it should be a fun game.
Well, hey, I wish you luck. Stay healthy. We'll talk to you next week, man. Always good to see you.
Appreciate you, Monty.